Making knots for your bungee. Now, it's my second attempt at filming this because the first time it wasn't very clear, but there's a type of knot here that's used by fishermen, don't know the name of it, and you use a little bit of heat shrink there just to keep hold of one end. So I'll just quickly undo this so I can show you better than what I was filming earlier anyway. So what you do basically is you make a loop like this, okay, and you bring this over, and then you make another loop like this, okay, if I can, there you go. Bring that in through the middle, put that loop through the other loop, and then you feed it through, and that basically gives you that knot like that. There you go. And then you put your heat shrink through there, and then you shrink it on, and it should look something like that. Now obviously you want to do that with putting a dog catch in it, so this one could go onto the stake at the other end. Okay, now this end you can do exactly the same as that way, or if you wish to, one way I sometimes do it is I put a little knot in one end like that, pull it tight, okay, then make a loop, bring that round, feed that through, hold the end with the knot in it, okay, and that gives you a pretty good loop. And then if you wish, you can bring some heat shrink up, and if you've got the right size, which I haven't here obviously, you can heat shrink that up and make it all nice and neat. So I'm going to change this for another size. So if you get that wrong, just pull it through, okay, get your box of heat shrink. So I've got, this is stuff I use, there's the front, any colour you like. That one's probably a little bit small for what I would need, so I'll probably use the blue. It's about the right size. What's the black like? Yeah, a bit too big. Okay, we'll try that. Push that through. Now this nylon cord is 2mm. It's the sort of cord you get in Venetian blinds, etc. And it's pretty cool actually. Normally you use like a fishing line or something like that, but if you only want so much, then you know this is just as good. This is 10 feet long. So what I'll do now, I'll heat shrink that on, and I'll do something similar with this end, and then I will obviously put this on here, and then what you do with this end is put a key ring through there, and that's it. So I'll quickly show you that one once I've finished that, just to show you what it looks like. Okay, right, so that's all ready now for the heat shrinking. Here's my heat gun. Turn this on, do both at the same time. It's going in quite nicely. Okay. That'll do that. Hopefully it's not too hot to handle, and that looks quite professional. So there we are. These are still a little bit hot because they're metal. This normally goes onto the stake. Now let me just pull that off here. Take that off here. So when you put your stake in the ground, you'll have this ring here, and that just snaps into there like that. Okay, and you're all good to go. And the more tension that goes on the bungee, the tighter that knot will get. So then the other end Let's take this off because otherwise I'll just get myself into a muddle. Then the other end, this has already got a knot in it, so I'm not going to bother doing anything with that, but I'll put a snatch clip on there so that can just snap on like that. There you go. Okay, and then the other end will do the same thing. Put a ring on the end so that can now attach to the aircraft that you're going to fly. So let's do that now. Let's put a bit of heat shrink on there. Okay, put a little knot in there. By the way, I've already heated up the end of this string with a lighter because it's got nylon in it. You just heat it up and that seals that. So there's a little bit of an extra one there for you. Save myself a whole lot of bother. And hang on, don't do that. Right, do that. Put that through there. Bring that through, like so. There you go. Nice and tight there. Bring the heat shrink around. Put that on the end. Should slip in. There you go. And then before I seal the knot, let's put this ring on. Okay, and there you go. Where's my heat gun? And that's going to be hot. But basically, there you go. It's pretty tight. So you can now wrap this up without it getting tangled and keep it as a separate article. I've seen many people get into a pickle with these things where they all get tangled up and get knots in them and all sorts of shenanigans. And you can just do that up like that, unhook it from there. Okay, and keep that ready. Okay, so that's your two ends of your bungee. There's your bungee cord all ready to go, and you've got your hook. There's your hook. Put the stake in the ground. Now it may be advisable to have another stake in there, because these have been known to pull out. And what you do, you use one of these, put this in behind it, tether it to there, and that sort of double indemnity then. Now, which brings me to another type of release mechanism which I am going to experiment with. This is, I believe these are used on maritime things like boats and stuff. I will be using a rocket, so I'm going to look at this with some sort of foot pedal, so I can pull this and this automatically opens and that will release the bungee. So it'll be something along the lines of, just for example's sake, he said, right, so if this is to that and you have this attached to that, yeah, I can then pull a cord like this and that releases it. So there's two triggers you can use using this system along with your launcher. So I'm going to end it just here and carry on the next part. Right then, so bungee cords. Now, there's two main types of bungee cord. You get your bungee that you probably get from a camping shop. Traditionally, when I used to fly gliders, when I first started flying, we would use the Bunsen burner tube. It's a rubber, hollow rubber tube. We used to connect to the gas, and you go to a Bunsen burner, you light it, and this is how you used to do chemistry at school. But anyway, this has been donated by Henry, who you saw on the indoor flying session down at Shawbury. He's not used this for some years, so he said, here you are, do what you can with this. And I said, okay, fine, no problem. So this is approximately, I don't know, 10-15 feet long, and it's got it on an old spoil here, and I had to uncoil it because originally it had a fishing line attached to it, which has seen better days, and I didn't trust it. Now, we would normally use fishing line, but I'm going to use some white cord that you'd normally use on Venetian blinds and stuff like that. I don't know how many mil that is, but a couple of mil, I think it's 2 mil cord there. So you're going to want to put a knot in your bungee, and I've got some heat shrink on there just to tidy up the end there. So how do you do this? So just to unwrap that, there's two types of knot, you know, you can use. Well, there's several types of knot, but this particular one, normally fishermen use it. And basically what you do is this goes underneath here, and then you make another loop there. Sorry, make this loop here, then this goes around here, and then this loop goes into that loop, and then you pull it like this, okay, and then you slip the heat shrink over the ends like that, and that gives you,
now that's cool.